Scott does our news, and if you would ask Scott Watson if anybody could read a bedtime story, who would it be?
Jimmy Stewart has this voice that's just very calming, peaceful, kind of.
Yeah, it's very iconic. Very iconic sound. A little bit of I don't want to call it a stammer, but a hesitation when he speaks, but it's very distinctive.
If you've watched the movie It's a Wonderful Life, the lead character is played by Jimmy Stewart. And he has that iconic voice. As a matter of fact, somebody is using Jimmy Stewart's voice, turned it into an AI, and this AI will read bedtime stories to you.
That's weird.
Seriously.
Wow.
Now, if you know Jimmy Stewart's voice in your head, I want you to picture it in your head right now. So picture or hear his voice in your head right now.
I'll lasso the moon.
I'm going to play the AI. This is the introduction of Jimmy Stewart, AI voice, who is saying that I'll read bedtime stories to you.
Okay.
This is off on Instagram, so listen to this.
Well, hello. I'm James Stewart. But, well, you can call me Jimmy. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story. It's a heartwarming story of love, of loss, of hope, and of joy. But most of all, it's a wonderful sleep story.
A wonderful sleep story, a wonderful life, get it? So, now I'm very curious how close you think he sounds to Jimmy Stewart, that AI version of him.
I think it sounds a lot younger than what is in my head.
I think there are similarities.
Very much so.
Scott?
I agree, a younger Jimmy Stewart. Close, but not exact. But it does sound a lot younger.
Yeah,
Like 20.
Here's Jimmy Stewart on The Tonight Show reading a poem about his dog, Bo. This is just a part of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it made me cry when I heard the whole thing. But here's a part of Jimmy Stewart literally reading a poem on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson back in the 80s.
He knew where the tennis balls were upstairs, and I'd give him one for a while, and he'd push it under the bed with his nose, and I'd dig it out with a smile. But before very long, he'd tire of the ball, and he'd be asleep in his corner in no time at all.
See, that sounds so different from the AI to me.
So it's missing the S thing.
The inflections that he do. Here's a part of the AI again.
It's a heartwarming story of love, of loss,